Hey, what's up guys, it is Saintsfan and welcome to another GTA 5 video. Today and over the next few days, I'm going to be doing sort of a little mini-series going over all of the cut content from both GTA 5 and GTA Online. Today we're going to start with GTA Online just because obviously a lot more people play GTA Online, but all this stuff is actually really interesting. I saw an article the other day that covered all of the cut content that the guys over in the GTA forums have uncovered over the past few years, and just reading through it, seeing what Rockstar's original plan for the game was, that was just super cool to read, and I figured you guys would enjoy it as well. So hopefully you feel the same way. If you do, drop this video a like, that'd be much appreciated, and subscribe for more awesome GTA content like this. In this first part of this little mini-series, like I said, we're going to be talking about GTA Online's cut content. What Rockstar originally had planned for GTA Online is almost nothing like what we have at the moment. Before the game came out, before Online was released, they were testing a drug trafficking system, a cops and crooks version of the game. If anyone's ever played on the Xbox 360 or the PS3, you would know there was 3 extra character slots in the character switch menu. Those 3 character slots were actually for the 3 factions that Rockstar wanted to implement early on in the game's development process. Obviously, it wasn't used, and that's why in next gen and on PC, those 3 character slots are not there anymore. But it is really interesting to see Rockstar's original plan for GTA Online, and we'll start with the drug trafficking system. So the drug trafficking system, this was actually found by FunMW2, a lot of you guys probably know him, and although I never played this game, GTA Chinatown Wars, it was kinda a similar system to what they had in that game. The player would be able to buy and sell and transport drugs like heroin, cocaine, and more, and we can actually see that in these unused icons and lines of code. You can see from on the left and from on the right, there's a bunch of the drugs with the amount of quantity that you have to deal or that you have stashed. As for the icons that I guess would appear on the minimap, here are what they look like. So we have the drug trafficking one, then we have the coke, heroin, meth, and weed. And these were actually for multiplayer because in the game files, their name was MP_spec item _ weed, and then, heroin, coke, and meth. Also, with this drug dealing system, there was going to be a profit loss, which is how much money you made or lost during a drug deal. And then there were drug dealing awards, which I guess if you sold enough drugs or something along those lines, you got a little reward. Now, we don't really know why Rockstar scrapped the drug trafficking idea. Maybe it was too much, at least with the CEO system, which is kind of similar, where you get stuff, you stash it, and then you sell it. It is more kid-friendly because it's not drugs, it's not freaking cocaine, it's not meth, it's not heroin. That's probably one of the reasons why they did, unfortunately, ditch this idea. And I know there's always the argument, but it's a rated M game, so people shouldn't care, and I agree, but, that's obviously for the companies to decide. It is just interesting to see with this drug trafficking concept, though, that's something, and if this was the basis for the CEO missions, this is something they were working on, from the very beginning, from before the beginning. The next part, the cops and crooks, and this actually ties into the 3 factions. This is super interesting to me, because if this was actually in the game, this, in my opinion, would have made it way more fun and way more interesting. So the 3 factions, or the 3 sides you would have chosen, or you could have chosen, are the Lost MC, the Vagos, or the cops. And in this cops and crooks version of GTA Online, each faction would have its own boss. And these bosses would have been able to provide players with services or missions. Looking at some of the cut lines of code for these 3 bosses, we see some pretty interesting information. So you could call Edgar Claros to request some backup from the Vagos, Al Carter for the Lost MC. I'm guessing that if you were in a gang and you were trying to join another one, it would give you the on-screen text that says you're already working with another gang. And then this bottom part is actually some of the lines of audio that the bosses would have said, when you're on the phone with them, calling for the actual backup. The ways that Rockstar actually implemented into the game to be able to contact these bosses were through the phone, like normal, and you can actually see that it's still in the game file. There's an animation to call the lost boss. And then I guess there was also a way to access via a computer because there's a lost boss keyboard animation. One of the most interesting parts about this 3 faction system is the cops, though, and we can actually see sort of what they had in mind in some of the build logs from the early parts or the early stages of the game. You can see here at this one in 2011, It says if a cop uncuffs a crook off mission, the crook will still be teleported to the precinct during the animation. So at a certain time, they had it so where the cops could actually arrest and handcuff other players. Tell me that wouldn't be really cool in GTA Online. Now, a lot of the information that we actually know about early stages of GTA Online comes from the build logs because they had like daily and weekly reports during the development of the game, and for some reason they left all of those on the PS3 disc version of GTA 5. Like I'm pretty sure those weren't supposed to come out, but people found a way to find them, and we got a lot more information. And there's actually some leftover evidence in the game files relating to these three factions. There's the police department logo here that we can see. There's a Vagos logo. And going back to the drug trafficking or the drug wars, that's actually referenced, or the files are in the game, although they are empty. And then you can see, I'm assuming, depending on which faction you chose, like for this one, for example, you could have gotten cop awards or cop medals for doing certain things. And then for this one, the Vagos tattoos or the Vagos gang weapons for doing certain things. So at the time, GTA Online was less of an MMO about like building your character and all that, and more about joining a specific faction and ranking up through that, which I guess is still sort of like an MMO, but it was a lot different than what we have at the moment. And then last but not least, there's actually some props that are still left in the game, some pictures still left in the game that aren't used, that show the police phone that you would have used to call for backup, instead of having, I guess, the regular phone that's just normal in GTA Online. And then here's the line of code that actually indicates there was an option to call for backup as a cop. I'm not sure about you guys, but at least to me, just looking through all this cut content and like Rockstar's original plan for the game, although it's not what we have now, and some of the stuff sounds really awesome, I can appreciate Rockstar's ambition, like what they were trying to go for. Ultimately, it didn't work out for them for whatever reasons. I don't know. I don't think anybody does. But I think we can all appreciate that at one point in Rockstar, they were trying to go bigger and better, I guess, than ever before. And whether we'll see that in a future GTA Online DLC or in the next GTA Online version, GTA Online 2 with GTA 6, who's to know? But I thought this was some pretty interesting stuff, and I thought I would share it. That is it with the video. Drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome GTA content, because like I said, over the next few days, we'll be covering some other stuff that has been cut from the game, and there's a lot. Like, we'll do some single-player stuff. We can even talk about the jetpack a little bit, because there's a lot of interesting stuff that was cut about that, but hope you guys enjoyed. See you all in the next one. As always, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.